Hello guys, it is me, Iron64, and I am back again with the good and the bad, this time episode 3 of Cloak and Dagger. Now I just want to get right into this. The plot to this episode is, Tandy goes on the run as Detective O'Reilly closes in on her, and desperate for answers, Tyrone turns to Evita and her auntie Clarice, a voodoo priestess for help. Now, let's start off with the acting like usual. This episode was mostly aimed for character development, so nothing in particular stood out to me. I did like how they gave Evita a little bit of a bigger role in this episode. I think it is a good idea for her to help Tyrone since they already have a really good connection. In Tandy's case, I liked how her mother and her mother's boyfriend both helped her to hide from Detective O'Reilly. Speaking of O'Reilly, I liked how she got some good screen time in this episode. I think she will become a great character in the story. Yes, I know, since I already told you guys in my head, but I do like O'Reilly, and she is a really good character, surprisingly. I didn't think I'd like her, because, she's a detective, and the detectives find out the truth, and I thought she was going to see the bad in Tandy, but she's not. She sees the good, she wants to help her, and I really like that. Now, Evita, she's good, I don't want to say too much on her character. I really want to talk about O'Reilly. At first I thought she was going to be an annoying detective that always ends up getting the answers that she wants and needs. Instead of going that route, they made her into a detective that can see that Tandy was assaulted and she was only trying to protect herself. You can see this at the end of the episode where she is told that the case is closed and you can tell on her face that she is not done yet. And after talking to Tandy, I think it motivated her even more. Yes, when Tandy actually decided to go and talk to O'Reilly, if I'm not in the wrong episode, and O'Reilly said that they can't do anything, the case is closed, Tandy was just so bummed, and she's like, okay, I give up then, there's nothing I can do, so bye. And then she leaves and she's sad, and then you can see O'Reilly, like, she looks like she's not done, she looks like she's ready to fight for this girl that she doesn't really know. Now, the CGI. There wasn't much CGI in this episode. I did like how Tandy and Tyrone both transported to the other side of each other. Tandy made her dagger again, which always looks nice. I thought it was interesting how she made it for Tyrone, and it turned into handcuffs for Tyrone. Turned into handcuffs for Tyrone to put on the person that killed his brother, instead of him trying to kill him like in the scenes. I'll get into that later. Tyrone used his ability to sort of make a hand to hold Tandy when she was about to run. Yes, I will get into this if you are lost with what I'm saying, but actually, since you guys already seen the episode, or else this would be spoilers for you, then you already know what's going on, you know what I'm talking about. Now, the pacing of the story. Like I said earlier, this episode is mostly about character development, and this show showed it in a great way. You see Tyrone trying to protect Kid Tandy from an electrified puddle, and later on you see how he's trying to help her stop running away from her problems. This was depicted by her father getting killed over and over. She would run away over and over until Tyrone made that hand from his powers and talked to her. When Tandy saw Tyrone, Kid Tyrone, he was playing basketball, and then his brother joined him, and she saw that his brother chose Tyrone over crime. Then Tandy teleported to another place, and in this place, Tyrone is wearing a fancy outfit, and he killed his brother killer, but after that, his parents die and the police go for him. The second time around, he gets a noose, and after the police chase him, he runs into the noose. And this is where Tandy stops him and gives him the dagger that turns into handcuffs. I thought this was really... I didn't know how to... when I was watching, I didn't know how to feel because it was so powerful. I didn't think the show would, take that turn, and it did. It was great. Now for the overall episode. This was another great episode. I really loved how at the end, Tyrone saw Kid Tandy giving out drugs to different people at the church, and how Tandy saw Tyrone crying while he was surrounded by a bunch of checks. It was great how they both touched the glass and they felt the darkness and the light, and it ultimately caused them to meet in person, even though Tandy said earlier at the site of the crash that she never wanted to see him again. The only bad thing about this episode was the voodoo, and I say that because it weirded me out and I just didn't like it at all. Yeah, voodoo was just a big no. I know it was culture or whatever, but just please no, that's something no one should mess with. It's just not good. But yes, this is episode 3 of The Good and the Bad for Cloak and Dagger. this episode they just get more and more interesting, and I get more and more hooked. So I'm really liking the show, and I can see why they're making a season 2 right after season 1. It was actually kind of surprising. I saw on Twitter. I was a little confused at first, but I guess I was just late. But yeah, they're making a season 2, and I'm gonna be able to review that too. But yeah, this is it. Hope you guys have a nice day.